Hi friends, welcome to Wednesdays with Whitney. We had a bit of a false start there. Here we are. It's happening. It's happening. I'm Whitney, obviously, and this is Sid Juwarker. Yay! And Sid, the introduction would be too complex to even get into here because your titles are so numerous that I just couldn't even try.
I just invent
Can
most
you
of that.
can we start at the top? Like
Sure.
if you were to give me your titles, go.
Environmental professional, comedian,
Soon to be business owner.
soon to be business owner, poor time manager,
Enthusiast.
person who's unable to say no,
Enthusiast.
lover of all things fun, and
Indian food.
yes, I just call it food. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of that stuff's very complex, though. It's just a lot of it.
I mean, we could make it complex, but let's just gloss over the complex
Perfect.
parts. So we're here to talk about a few different things today, but I want to start with the big project that's been on the forefront of your mind for, what, a year now? 2 years now? I mean, in the making forever.
In the making forever. 2 years in conceptualizing and
Okay.
getting it happening, and then really ramped up in the last 6 months
Okay.
after a year of searching.
So can we just say what it is?
Sure. I
Introduction.
am opening up a independent comedy club in downtown Des Moines. The Facebook page is live. It's called Teehees Comedy Club. TEEHEE''S. We'll be featuring, it's a small space, so not on a large scale where it's competing with national touring acts like the Funny Bone, which is a great place, which is an amazing place to go watch very seasoned comedians. But this is more with a focus on promoting and showcasing the local talent we have here in Des Moines for both improv as well as stand-up comedy. So hopefully a place where it's an incubator for people who are trying to become comedians and maybe someday get on that Funny Bone stage or even bigger. But it's a good place for them to start and sort of work their stuff out.
Yeah, and have small, really intimate shows where the audience is right there rooting for them. And
For the City of Des Moines Planning Department purposes, 99 people.
99. No problem, no problems.
Over 100 apparently you need a sprinkler system.
Okay, so 99 is the maximum we will fit in there.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about your comedy journey? Because you are by profession not a comedian.
No, I am not. I wouldn't say I am now either. But so I started with improv comedy as I used to do a lot of theater as well as acting in my younger years, but then creativity was beat out of me at a young age, so I could focus on more
Financially productive
pursuits.
pursuits.
Yes,
Yeah.
by virtue of being in Indian society where creative pursuits weren't exactly seen as something to help you have a decent life. But part of me, that part of me never died, and then I sort of went through, for lack of a better term, a midlife crisis and started a profession at an amazing company where I work for now, Terracon, which sort of freed up some of my time as well as made me want to start getting back into things I'd put away when I was on that path to success and focused entirely on my career. So I started to get into improv, which Josh Chamberlain had just moved to Des Moines and started the Last Laugh Comedy Theater, took some classes there, got on the stage there, became part of the cast there to do shows at Last Laugh. Mostly because of my work schedule, I couldn't meet theater production rehearsal schedules, so it was an easy way to just kind of do it when I was available without much 6 months of preparation and rehearsals. Started to get into a little bit of the stand-up comedy as more of a therapeutic pursuit. Just get in front of strangers and seek validation. So cry
And
myself to
write
sleep
real
at night.
life and
Just-
kind of bend it a little bit.
Yeah, just work my stuff out
Yeah.
without
Isn't
changing.
it nice to have people laugh at it because you're secretly like,
Oh
shit.
yeah, thank you for
that
laughing
happened.
at what is so soul
It
crushing to
was
me today.
really terrible,
Right.
but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, but it's a lot better than like say for example you have a bad day because of a certain situation, but the situation wasn't the reason you had a bad day. There's an overarching maybe social and or catastrophic element to why you just have a bad day, but
Yeah.
if you break it down to just a humorous anecdotal thing,
Yeah.
you get to work on the bigger issue without ever having to like go find someone and be like, let me tell you why I'm bothered, and everyone laughs.
Yeah.
You
I mean, you're
laugh.
telling like 200 someones at one time
Yeah.
about your, you know.
Yeah, and then started to sort of incorporate a lot of elements of race into my humor, being a brown man in the middle of Des Moines, but not from a. And I noticed a lot of race in comedy is either making one section of an audience laugh, and then the other one feels like it's about them and not so comfortable, or it's directly very confrontational, where some people who are on the victim side of it laugh more than the others who feel like they're being persecuted. So when I handle race, I still get my social message across in some of my jokes, but it's everyone in the audience gets to laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
And I also feel like it's not self-deprecating. I don't put myself down.
No.
So that's kind of.
Well, and I think that in general, in the projects you choose and the stand-up that I've seen from you in Disgrace, which I saw and really, really enjoyed, yes, you have a habit of bringing up conversations that we just don't have a ton in the Midwest. Like you...
Right, because there's always an element of like uncomfortable sense of like, oh, can we talk about this? Like, but with humor, and especially when you're using it in a format that's not pointing a finger at someone, it's just saying like, dude, this sucks, and here's why you should laugh at it, but not taking away from the seriousness of it. Just it's a slow burn. You'll be at a stoplight 2 days later, you'll be like, I didn't realize Ankeny was so white. That was a funny joke, Sid. But stuff like that. I mean, it's true. But
well, or when you realize it's true, there's been a couple things you've said that I've been, just like passed through my brain, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but
he
it
was real right about
But it's not like getting on a soapbox and be like, yeah, we need more brown people in Ankeny. It's none of that thing. I just think it's an observation. That's hilarious.
Well, and you have kind of shifting gears, but in the same vein, just fully immersed yourself in Des Moines.
Okay.
You are not from here.
No, but 22 years in Des Moines now.
22 years, more than most people have lived here. So you are fully a Des Moines staple, and people, when I first moved here, I think it wasn't too long before I started hearing your name of somebody that I needed to meet, because you are just one of those people. Aww, here we are today, 3.5 years later.
Right, but I think the cutoff is 25 though, so I got 3 more years to not get kicked out. Then I get like this free, I don't know, apparently there's a secret club where 25ers and over in Des Moines get to meet. There's a handshake.
You get to stay forever?
Oh yeah.
Is it like tenure? Like you can really go wild and
you can like start committing small to petty crimes.
It's kind of
cool.
Nobody's gonna notice.
No.
And if they notice, they can't do anything about it anyway because you're stuck here.
Exactly.
So on that note, we talk about something you do really well, both in your professional profession and just in life, is connecting, that dreaded word, networking. But I think you and I have a very similar thought on this, that it's just showing up.
It's showing up.
It's
Yeah,
showing up, being
is
genuine with people, having real conversations. When people ask me like, how do you network? I just look at them and I'm like, don't you have friends?
Yeah, but also
just go make some friends.
I think the biggest sort of piece to that is 2 things. One is you're never going to see me at a chamber event, a work meeting, a conference, or at a bar at 11 o'clock at night on a Friday as different people. I mean, I'm the same person regardless of where I'm at and what my situation, because
this is true.
If I feel like this
situations.
Right, and if I feel like the person I am at a bar at 11 o'clock at night with my friends is not someone I can take to a conference or thing, then what is where's the genuine aspect of who I am professionally? Yeah. Right? So...
Yeah, well, I guess I'd love to dig into that a little deeper, because I think there is, at least for me, I don't know if there's like a line there or something. There are certain things that I talk more about in certain situations than other. Absolutely. But I think the more I've gotten comfortable here, I guess is that I'm just like, nope, here it is. But I think that's a comfort level. I think you've been here a long time, you know a ton of people. They also know the full extent of you because you've known people for 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and there's some standards of like social decorum. Like I'm not going to drop an F-bomb in a work meeting. I'm not going to do it on Wednesdays with Whitney. But if I'm talking to a friend at a bar, it might slip out. But that doesn't make me less genuine. It's just kind of like...
That probably makes you more genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be real here.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just like, I'm not like a a robot when you see me at work, and then all of a sudden he's like, who is this crazy person when you see me outside of work? It's just who I am. And
well, and we talk a lot. Well, I talk a lot about personal branding in general, and then we've been having that conversation because what I believe so strongly is your social media, showing up in person, just being who you are and being able to communicate that in a very real way is now our resume. There's so few, like, I don't have really a lot of opportunity to look at resumes, but it's the least important part because in a small community like Des Moines, if I'm applying for a job, which like my applications for jobs look different, they look like speaking gigs or I don't know what it would be, awards or things that you have to apply for. So many awards. Let's just strike that.
I'm gonna pan the camera to this wall over here. It is just wall to wall trophies. It is nuts. It's kind of like so pretentious, but so many awards.
Don't stop. Anyway. But if you're applying for anything, the thing is you want the people on the other end to already know who you are.
Correct.
And a lot of that has to do with the things that you're doing with just simply being places and being places that you want to be anyway.
Right, and to know who you really are, because they might meet someone and think of you as a certain way, either what they see on social media or see professionally, and when they see you in the other light, you lose all level of respect and trust because now they're not seeing the person they thought they know, and then they're asking the question, who is this person, or which person is the real person? And that's no way to function both, in a personal life or well as a professional life. So just be yourself.
Well, and I think that's
unless
the first
your personal self sucks, then don't be yourself.
Then you should probably work on that.
Yeah,
we should just do
some
self-work.
That's a whole different Wednesday with Whitney.
Yeah, I'll talk to a different professional about that. Maybe a counselor. You need to start over. Let's start over. I might have had that conversation with some people. Like, should you start over? No, that's terrible. So tell me, this is an off the wall question. If you could name off the top of your head, where are your favorite places to go in Des Moines? Like, if we are gonna find Sid, where is he? What do you love?
I won't answer that question because I actually am going to be featured in the next DSM magazine for my 5 top places in Des Moines.
So read
pick
the
yourself
issue.
a copy.
Look
because
at that.
if I don't drop, because I can't remember the 5 places I chose because there's so many. And I don't want to seem disingenuous if all 5 right now are totally different than the one in the issue coming out in September. 10. Yeah, but I might still screw it up. But no, in general speaking terms, I enjoy places which have live entertainment, either music or comedy. It doesn't have to be a mega arena style thing. There's a lot of good places in Des Moines which have so many amazing local things to do. Then other ones are places to eat that aren't chain restaurants. Des Moines has the most amazing places to eat.
Yes.
And I'm so glad because I've lived in Des Moines for 22 years. And when I first moved here, I would say that culinary choices were somewhat limited and people really weren't exploring their palate. So I eat a lot of, Des Moines 20 years ago food in Des Moines 20 years ago was synonymous with chicken breast with cream sauce at a conference. And boiled vegetables and meat and potatoes. But oh my God, there's so much great food right now, and I just love going to. You and I have gone to a lot of crazy places and eaten a lot of good food.
Yes.
So that's my second thing. And then third is I like quiet places. It seems weird for me to say that because I'm usually surrounded by noise. But some places like just walking into the art center because it's all quiet and you can just chill. It's free and it's you can't really get on your phone, so it's just kind of things, and then the sculpture garden if it's nice out and kind of stuff like that, and
taking a lap.
Just places which are either have really nice scenic natural beauty or just super silent places to get away from it all. So I would say that's a general places I like to be in Des Moines.
I like it.
And then
I have one more question for you. So if you could bring, what's the next thing for Des Moines? Other than Teehees, which is the next thing for Des Moines.
It's the only next thing.
It's the only next. Okay, so we're gonna skip this question.
No.
The answer is Teehees.
What's next for Des Moines? Honestly, I think that Des Moines is going to be seen, at least from what I've seen and my own personal. I've always worked for the man, and this is my first chance exploring starting my own business.
Being the man.
Yeah, and don't start that rumor. But. Just the ease of that process, not from a fact that it was easy, but just the way the community supported me in this venture. And people just were so free with advice and being able to sit down and tell me things I didn't know, but not from a point of where they were trying to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And I feel that because Des Moines is so full of genuine, helpful people that are all connected and then are able to connect you with others, that the next thing for Des Moines is going to be the place for young entrepreneurs and people who want to start their own businesses to just do it and just make an amazing community impact. I can't really think of another place in the world where that would be so tremendously successful and for the genuine reasons that it exists. So,
I mean, I'm going to have to agree 100%.
yeah, there you go.
You know, doing that a couple times over now.
That's why she gets all these awards.
Yeah, just stop it. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Sid, thanks for joining us.
Teehees Comedy Club on Facebook. We're hoping to open up in September.
Yep.
It will be downtown. Add like the thing on the Facebook, and then all the announcements regarding the locations when things are sorted out with everything else are going to be announced and released. So,
hey. And I'll try to keep you updated here on this space too as we get some release dates for when we can overwhelm you with love and support for your opening date.
oh yeah, you're going to need to do a lot of that.
Yeah, just a lot of love and support and overwhelming.
Yeah, and go eat somewhere nice and different and go to a quiet place and enjoy living in the city. Yeah.
Words from Sid. I think we'll say goodbye on that.
Hug somebody!
Hug somebody! Bye guys!